Hey, look, the Boston Globe just last week was able to get hold of a Romney freshman high school report card from 1961. I had it in the stack. I didn't report on it, but boy, it was amazing. The teacher had a note, and I'm doing this from memory now. Let me see if by chance it's in the top of the stack here. Now, the teacher wrote a note on Romney's report card to his parents that Mitt is doing fairly well, he's acquitting himself fairly well, and is on the way to establishing himself as a good citizen. How old-fashioned. Absolutely uncool. How screwball. Whoa, that's on the way to acquitting himself as a good citizen. That's what the schools used to be about, is to prepare you to become a more responsible citizen. That's what it said. Mitt is a more responsible citizen this year. That's what that's what education used to be about at the secondary level. But apparently, folks, unbeknownst to the teacher that wrote that note, somebody was teaching Romney how to kill guys' wives when he later on became an adult. Because we learned that today in an Obama Super PAC ad. So you can take that responsible citizen comment that the teacher wrote on Romney's report card in 1961, and you can toss it. Here's the full teacher quote. Mitt is doing well. He's a more responsible citizen this year. Yeah, my teachers used to write stuff like that on their, well, except I wasn't headed in the direction of being a good citizen. But they used to write stuff like that. They wanted the parents to know and of course, as I said a couple weeks ago, the teachers were always right. To my dad, the principal, the teacher, they were a boss. Everybody with authority over me, they were always right, no matter what. Is on the way, becoming a more responsible citizen. How uncool. Okay, here's Martin in Miami. Martin, I'm glad you called. Welcome to the EIB Network. Hello.
Thank you, Russ. It's a great honor to be on the line with you. I've been listening to you since the late 80s.
Thank you very much, sir.
I'm a proud born American, Cuban descent. I actually, your name is known in our family, including my mom. I got her hooked on you back with the Elian Gonzalez, and she listens every day. My call has to do with this ad that they're running, having to do with the health insurance and the guy being left without work. I too was left without work. 20-year career in the mortgage industry up into 2008, where I had to go ahead and pick a new career, and I became. Were
you one of those predatory lenders that was out picking on poor people to give money to that you knew couldn't pay it back?
No, we'd actually give money. It was one of those evil subprime lenders where brought in a game where basically people that couldn't get a loan somewhere else because whatever ding they had in their credit, they'd come to us and keep them in their house for a little bit longer. And the whole idea behind it was, you got to pay your bills. You can't just sit there and not pay. But you know what? They just didn't want to pay.
Where is that? When does it? What did you say? Would you pay your own bills? Who?
Yeah, they had to pay their mortgage. I guess they didn't read that in the fine print when they signed.
Where does that happen?
I know that's the problem that we're having today, and I'll tell you, based on what I've seen, with this whole thing, is that people don't have an income problem most times; they have a spending problem. And this guy saying he can't afford health insurance and all that. What I'd like to know is how many times did he go out to a ball game instead of paying his bills or paying insurance, or how many times did you go out and buy the latest shoes out there instead of going out and buying health insurance? Because I've seen that way too often. when I got into this field, going out to people's houses, and they wanted to get some type of insurance. And when you tell them how much it was, they had the money to afford it. They just chose not to do it because they wanted to go ahead and buy an expensive car or the latest TV or the latest cell phone.
Yeah, that's big, yeah. Latest TV. You got to have your cell phone and the coverage, yeah.
So,
cell phone insurance.
And a tip for the Romney campaign, and this is me listening to you all these years, is so he's an unemployed worker. We're in his contract maybe that he have so many coffee breaks that he had to have during the day that maybe drove the company out of business.
Well, now I don't know that we necessarily want to go that far. Hey, you got my staff getting nervous all over again. We just calmed them down. So you think some people would rather die than pay for their own health care?
No, what I think is that people make poor choices and poor decisions, and health care is always there. So whether you can afford it and you have your insurance, or you go to the hospital and they see you, and even here in Florida, people can't afford it. If they're really down on the bottom, they got Medicaid. And if they're a little bit higher up and their kids can't afford health insurance for the kids, they have Florida Kid Care where they can go that route. And they're pushing that all the time in Dade County Public Schools. All the time they're pushing that for kid care.
See, that's the dirty little C. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Look, Martin, I'm glad you called. I appreciate it. And you mentioned Elian Gonzalez. I wonder what he's up to now. I'll never forget Fidel back during the Elian Gonzalez controversy when Janet Reno flew down here and basically followed that ATF agent into the house and took Elian Gonzalez out of there. I mean, not physically. They sent him back to Cuba. But during that whole thing, Fidel was talking about his father, Juan Gonzalez. And Juan Gonzalez is a good worker. He's a good worker. He does really good work. He works well. He's a good worker. I'm just cringing when I'm hearing. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've turned poor old Elian Gonzalez into a child of the revolution. Anyway, I have to take a time out here. Martin, I appreciate the call. After the program today, folks, I'm talking to Dinesh D'Souza. Dinesh D'Souza, remember his book, The Roots of Obama's Rage? His theory is that Obama's father, anti-colonialist, profound impact on Obama. He's made a movie out of this. The Roots of Obama's Rage is the movie. And he went over and talked to Obama's brother in the hut as part of the movie. And the movie is playing to sold-out theaters. It's opening wide soon. We're talking to Dinesh today about it.